ever wondered, what does it mean to be a musical worship leader? Have you ever sat down and answered the questions of what is worship? What's the purpose of musical worship? Why do we sing? What's my role as a musical worship leader? And what are we as a musical team supposed to be trying to accomplish? These are questions that I've asked myself. And whether you're a full-time vocational musical worship leader, a volunteer, or even a lead pastor, these are important questions to ask and to answer, because how you answer them will influence everything that you do. And over the past 13 years of being a part of leading musical worship, I've sought God, His Word, and His people on how I would answer these questions. And a couple of years ago, a training came out of putting these lessons down on paper. And these lessons are important because we need to hear and we need to be reminded of the great privilege we have, as well as the gravity and the weight of the responsibility that we have when we lead God's people in musical worship. So this training looks at the heart behind a musical worship leader, as well as some of the skills that are needed in this role. So let me walk you through a basic overview of this training. The foundation to being a musical worship leader is being a disciple, a follower of Christ. So much of our leading comes out of the overflow of our personal relationship with God. So we take time to look at what Scripture says are some basic characteristics of what a disciple looks like. And we categorize these under three headings. A disciple loves God, a disciple loves people, and a disciple becomes like Jesus. And after we lay the foundation of what it means to be a disciple, we start to look at what it means to be a musical worship leader. We look at the heart and the hands, who they are and what they do. We ask the questions of what is worship, what's the purpose of musical worship, and what's our role in fulfilling that purpose. And after that, we take a look at some of the skills needed in this role. Things like understanding who your congregation is that you serve, song flow and service order, as well as how to play together as a musical team. And after that, we jump into a description of a musical team member, building on the characteristics that we've already talked about. Now, while these are characteristics that we are looking for, we as leaders are looking for in those that desire to be a part of our team, they are also things that we need to be modeling for those that we are leading. And finally, we look at some of the nuts and bolts of planning, rehearsals, selecting new songs, the balance between leading and worshiping, as well as some general leadership principles. This training is for both teams and leaders, and the trainings walk side by side so that you can go through the training with your team. And then after our combined time, we have a time separate just for those who are part of leading and planning. If this is something that has caught your attention, has sparked your interest, please contact me for more information. And I hope you caught the heart behind this training, that being a disciple is what gives one the foundation to being a musical worship leader. Like I said, so much of our leading comes out of the overflow of our personal relationship with God. My hope and my desire for this training is that we would be challenged and encouraged to be disciples who make disciples, that we would be a part of fulfilling the Great Commission, that we would go deeper and deeper with God and encourage those around us to do the same, that we would use musical worship as a way to teach, to challenge, and to encourage ourselves and those that we lead, that we would use it to proclaim the gospel so that more and more people would hear the great good news of what God has done for us in Jesus Christ. I hope to hear from you soon.